Welcome to I'm Angry, Annoyed, and Amused podcast. I'm with Mike. Next to me is Uncle Phil.
Yo.
Over there's Johnny.
He did what we did once to each other. Throws us all off.
Oh, see, now you get thrown off when you're playing it. Because I got thrown off the first time. Hi, guys.
Hi.
And across the table's the other Mike.
Hello.
So today, I guess we're going to talk about the war in Iran, if you want to call it that. I don't know if it has an official name yet. What is it? Operation Epic Fury?
Epic Fury.
Wow.
It's a good name.
That's cool.
I like
Does
it.
anybody... I can't start unless somebody really wants to.
What?
I can start,
do you wanna
say
start
my
with?
thoughts unless somebody
What do
really
you
wants
think?
to.
Yeah, you're in the number one
I was going to
position.
give my general thing, which is but if you've seen this podcast, I'm saying this because you guys know, I feel basically the same way about this as I felt about Venezuela, just on a larger scale. But in this particular case, which I didn't feel about Venezuela so much, is like it's hard. There's an information gap, right, between us and the government. That doesn't mean you have to trust the government, which a lot of times I think it's right to not. You know what I mean? There's plenty of instances in the past. Like, you can look at a million things and say, like, the government's lying. But at the same time, it's like, I can't say that I'm sure they are. So if I believe that intelligence is like, we have to move against Iran, I can't say that's definitely not true.
Right.
So if it was done for the best interest of America, then good.
Right.
If it wasn't, then I'm against it, because it's like just causing, not even like causing issues for us necessarily.
It is.
Like it is that too. But I'm saying it just seems like it just didn't need to happen. Like if it's a regime change, right, and if Trump was just trying to capitalize on this time in Iran where they're having these protests, and it seems like it's like ready to boil over, and he's like, if we just help the people, give them a push, then we finally get a good regime in Iran. Like, I'd say, okay, I kind of get that. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, but I mean, how often is it like you're really going to get the next regime's going to like love America or be like totally free and prosperous in this place where like maybe could Iran, like they're the biggest country over there and they're the military power de facto of that area. But like, if they democratize, like, is everybody else going to hate them too? Obviously, there's always going to be ill effects from the bombing campaign. Like, at least some Iranians are going to be like, yeah, I wasn't against America,
right,
but then they killed my family. So even with the new government, I still don't want America involved, even though technically they helped free it. Like, it's just like, you're not gonna feel like you're being freed if you're also being bombed.
Yeah. Well,
there's
two things for me. I know it's crazy because the world seems so small, but it's still baffling to me that we do have wars at all, like that you're not able to shut down a country like that and say, listen, you guys just can't be killing people, right, arbitrarily in the streets. Like,
I guess
a
a war's what it takes.
Isn't able to stop them without going and bombing them, right?
Yeah.
And doing all that stuff. But the other thing about this is I am fascinated by the military stuff.
Yeah.
Like the weapons that we have and the weapons that we're probably not even using.
Oh.
You know?
Oh, yeah.
Like, we were able, and it's not even been 2 weeks, right?
I don't think so.
No.
I don't
I
think
feel
so.
like it's been a week.
What day is it?
I think
No,
that
It's Wednesday? Did it start 2 Wednesdays ago?
Today's Wednesday, yeah.
No, I don't think it started 2 Wednesdays.
No, it started.
It started last
I thought
Saturday.
it started on a
It
weekend.
started on a Saturday morning. It was
Yeah.
like not this past Saturday, the prior.
I think I saw
So
we'll be
we're
2
a
weeks.
week and a half.
I think it's day 12.
All right.
Yeah.
12.
It'd
Yeah,
be
I think
11.
Okay, that's right. That's all right. 12. Whatever.
Doesn't matter.
And we've
Week and a half.
and again, you don't know what you did, but we seem to think that we took their whole navy out.
Yeah.
We seem to think we took out not all of their missile sites, but like 90% of their missile launches.
Their top brass was immediate.
Like, they only launched, if I got it right, I heard they only launched like 6 missiles overnight the last day.
That's pretty bad.
Yes,
Last night, yeah.
so they're down to like nothing, unless they're hiding stuff too, which is quite.
Yeah, but it seems like, why would they be doing that?
Why would they be hiding it, right?
At this point, they kind
let it all
of. This
out.
feels like this is, at least for that regime. Wouldn't this feel like this is your last? This is your last hurrah? Like, I don't know.
But it's amazing the things we
days.
could do just from from ships and planes.
Yeah.
Right. Like the accuracy, like they're shooting into hangars.
Well, I mean, it can't be too
They're
accurate. We
blowing
took out a school.
tunnels.
Was that officially
Did we
us?
do that? Was it officially us?
It keeps changing.
I haven't seen. I saw that
There-
when it first came out, and I was like, This is one of
You'll
those
never
things.
know.
You're like,
You'll never know.
There's
I gotta know. I want to know who actually did it.
It said officially it wasn't us, and then someone's like, no, it was officially us.
Yeah, because like last I saw, it was like the IRGC sort of took credit for it, not like credit, but like said it was them, and then that got like scrubbed, and then I saw like CNN said like it looks like it's probably U.S.
Yeah.
But that was based off like a video that like
That could be
showed
anything.
it was a video and it like showed the missile, and it's like this looks like an American
Right.
missile, and I'm like that's
But
flying.
the other thing-
I'm like, do they really look that
when
different?
these things happen, there's so much misinformation.
Yeah, that's
You know,
true.
they-
More and more
you'll
now.
never know. Like it's we bombed with this. Oh no, you didn't. Meanwhile, it's right. The thing's devastated. We
Yeah.
bombed your military site.
What's amazing?
But
is
there's
how
AI
many-
videos of the
the-
bombings
It's
Yeah.
amazing how many people rooting against us.
That's
Right.
that's
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 great. In our own
bothered me a
country.
lot.
But mostly because of the school too. And what I question on the school I have is how they say there was like 80 kids in there on a Saturday afternoon or night, which
Well-
is weird. But then the second part of that is, from what I've read, from what I've heard, I didn't read, I saw that article, where they say that Iran is famous for using like schools and things to hide weapons and people, because
Yes.
like for that reason. So
They use that as a tactic. I also heard that they, like some of the dead bodies that they had were held
oh
over.
yeah, I heard that too. And they
So
their
they put
own
them in
people.
places that got bombed to say, look
Yeah.
what you did to us.
That's
you know?
crazy.
I have heard that. I mean, I've heard both of those things.
Listen, it's
but, like,
terrible if that happened. It's terrible.
Absolutely.
If there was a miscalculation, if they thought it was something other than what it was, and if it was a school, of course it's terrible.
Yeah.
But it's just as terrible that 20,000 people died in the last 2 months because they were
Yeah,
protesting.
but that's just not
And
our
nobody
problem.
cares about that.
That's just not our problem.
But is it not our problem?
Do I agree that the American political
it's not
left
your
should
problem,
care about
'cause you're
that
not-
when they like
the people
totally
that are out in our streets
100%.
protesting and saying
Yes.
equality for this and this. Why are they not caring that people are dying over there for protesting?
I totally agree on that point. And for them to now obviously go like we're pro Iran and like we want the old regime and that's crazy to me. Don't get me wrong, but I'm saying as far as the war itself, I didn't want America to be involved in any wars. And insofar as like, yeah, technically it's a war, right? Like I mean, even
what do you think-
some American soldiers have died, but like it's not the same. It's like we're just missile striking them.
Right.
What's going on?
Not that that's like not that that's a small thing, but it's also not. We didn't
okay,
invade. We
fine,
don't.
but-
If that happens, that's another escalation. But
Big picture. How long do you wait for Iran to get nukes?
You
No,
know.
no, I'm
No,
not saying.
knowing that they're-
Again, that's one of those things where I have
See,
to.
my headphone keeps going out.
I have to accept some amount. I have to accept some amount of, like, unknown on the government side of like how close is Iran.
Right.
Right, but then,
Yeah, but how close
but
do
when
you
they
let them
say,
get?
but when they go in for nukes to Afghanistan,
And there's nothing.
and there was nothing, and they had war for 20 years, I kind of go, all right, like,
Yeah.
how many times are you going to trot out that they're about to have nukes thing? And is Iran, like, is it close? I don't know. I kind of have to believe him, but on the third attempt, right? Like, and to Trump's detriment, they did that missile strike how long ago? 6 months ago? The first, like in
One that was
Iran.
taking the nukes out.
And that was supposed to, and Trump himself said, like, we decimated their nuclear capacity. If that happens only every six, like, if they went from 0 to almost nukes again in 6 months, then you kind of at some point have to go, they just have nukes. We
Right.
can't keep bombing them every 6 months to reset their nuclear capabilities.
Right.
Like, you can't operate like that. Like, I would say if that's the case, if Trump came out tomorrow and was like, look, they have the best nuclear scientists. We can destroy everything we want. They build it out of bricks and mud the next day.
Say
Huh?
it like Trump.
Oh, that would have been great.
I can't really do his voice. I'm not good at
You did
impersonations.
his voice.
But what was I
You've
saying?
done his voice.
We're gonna get some nukes. No, but I wish I should practice his voice. I can kind of do it, but I can't do it if I'm like talking about. Like it has to be like a canned,
it's gotta be a thing,
like a
yeah.
canned thing. Yeah. But if he said he's like, look, every time we blow up their nuclear capabilities, they're back in 6 months. I would say at that point, then okay, if the question is like we do this every 6 months and constantly foment more, anger in at least if not Iran itself, the region that like doesn't like constantly getting bombed by U.S. I imagine. Then it's like, all right, then just destroy them totally now. Fine. If you're saying the only other alternative is nuclear war with Iran, then just destroy them completely now. Kill everybody. Like if that's the only
part of
You don't wanna
this
kill
mission.
everybody.
No, but I'm saying if you're like no matter what we do, every bombing campaign we've ever had, we end up back at there's
one.
enough Iranians and they're building nukes. Then it's like, all right, either do something different right?
Well,
Or
no,
take the bombing campaigns you do and like destroy the country.
Deal with it.
I'm not saying we should do that. I'm saying if I'm supposed to believe that, then what is the other solution?
Isn't that the part of this mission? Like he had said, we don't want to have to go back in 10 years and do it again.
Yeah,
Yes.
The problem
Well,
is
that's
not
the
knowing,
regime
right?
change if they get that.
You know, there's stories that Iran's opening, statement in the talks before we did this was we have enough to make 11 nuclear bombs right now, and like they were adamant that
That's a lot.
they weren't giving that up. Their uranium or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't think you need that
their
many.
weapon grade
Yeah.
uranium.
That's crazy.
You do. I saw it. We'll talk about that later. But there was a guy that said all the nukes in the world right now wouldn't stop the world.
What do you mean?
Well, the world itself wouldn't be destroyed.
No, he said even all the people won't be destroyed. He said it'll hit major
Oh,
cities,
yeah.
but everybody won't be destroyed. There'll still be a world out there. So it's
Yeah,
still
I mean, there'd be
matter of
some
luck where
people
you live.
alive. I mean,
Let's
You know?
go back to move to Utah.
He said it's not enough. But if you go from the point of you think they did have something, then yeah, they should destroy them, right?
right?
Because you don't want them to have it because their whole thing is debt to
Murder.
America, debt to Israel.
Yeah. So if you can get in a regime that isn't
basically
death
debt
to
the whole West.
Didn't his son?
Yeah,
just take
I know,
over?
but it seems like that kind of like, look, it's a catch-22 ish of the whole Middle East, right? Where it's like they all definitely hate Israel, and by proxy hate America.
Right.
That's true. And by they, I mean the governments. But like when it's a constant conflict and like Israel bombs this person and then whatever, and then the U.S. invades and bombs, it's like I can't fault them that much for not liking U.S., right? Like I can, being from here, say like, guys, if you guys weren't,
but if they
if
stopped-
your
but if they
country was
stopped-
like totally democratic and like
But if
whatever,
they
I don't
stopped
think
hating us, we won't be bombing them.
I know, but at the
that's the
same
catch-22.
that's the catch-22, right? It's easy to say, guys, if you stop hating us, we'll stop bombing you, and they're probably going, if you stopped bombing us, we wouldn't hate you. Like every not every person in the Middle East, but like there's been wars in multiple countries over the course of 20 years. Like how many? There's 2 generations now at least that are like I grew up around. Like
Yeah.
this was part of my life. Of course, I don't like you. And I'm saying, yeah, do I find fault with that as somebody from America who does hope at least, maybe I can't say I believe, but I hope that if they did tomorrow, if Iran, the new, like somebody took power and they're like, look, there's a tit for tat going on. We're not death to America. Like we want the whole world to whatever. We're still obviously a Muslim country. We're going to run that way. We're not going to kill protesters or whatever, but like lay off the bombs. We're not going to nuke you.
We would lay off the bombs.
I believe that. If you look into like history with Israel and stuff, their argument is that wouldn't stop. You know what I mean? That like I'm not saying do I believe one side's more true? Yeah, but I'm also from here. I'm saying if you had instead of me sitting here, it was an Afghani kid
Of course.
who was like, yeah,
Of
you
course.
blew up
You
every
blew- yeah.
family member I have, and I live in an orphanage because of invading Afghanistan for nukes we didn't have to chase a guy who didn't live here. For an event that wasn't even planned here,
That was
I'm
Bush.
kind of gonna go.
That
Yeah,
was-
man, you got a point.
That was Bush trying to get revenge for the attempted assassination of his father. No,
Right, but that's not. You shouldn't do that.
no
You're the president. Like,
you shouldn't do that.
and if you're gonna do it, don't do bombing campaigns. Do targeted. Like that's one thing with the military.
We're not
That
allowed. We're allowed to go in and bomb things, but we can't officially
Well, the-
assassinate
that's crazy to me. See, like that's
country's
backwards to me. Which is very weird.
Take
Like
the leaders out.
Like
right?
that would be. I would love if Trump or whoever Hegseth got up and they were like, "Look, bombing campaigns are bad. We're gonna start doing assassination, full on
That'd be great.
assassinations of just officials without missiles.
So
No
much
ballistic.
less
We're gonna have we're gonna
expensive,
be
too.
sending in Delta and SEALs or whatever. Yeah, before that, you're putting more people sort of in harm's way. More people being American, but they're not civilians. I mean, they would be military people.
Right.
Who,
They sign up
you
for
hope
it.
sign up for it, especially at that level. If they're Delta
you're going to
Force,
SEAL-
if they're Delta Force or SEAls, they're not
Yeah.
just signing up to like
Sit on
pay
the
their
couch.
college loans. They're SEAL, like they're doing
Yeah.
it. But I'd be fine with that. It's just I don't know. Like I said, it's a catch-22 because I can't fault at least some of them for having negative like views of America. Do I think that warrants death to America chance? And do I think as an American we should look at that government wholesale and say like we can't let them do certain things? Yeah, but when that ends up in bombing, I don't think I don't think U.S. is, even if that one strike happened to hit a school, like that's terrible. If they missed, apparently it was like next to a depot of whatever.
Right.
Yeah, that's terrible. There's nothing else to say about that. Like, it is what it is if you miss.
I know,
Like, it's
exactly.
terrible.
It's terrible.
It's not is what it is for that family, but it's like there's nothing you can do in a real sense. But, like, I don't think we're doing carpet bombing the cities.
No.
Like, you would know if we were just massacring every civilian around. It's like they're doing targeted strikes, but, like, about the kids, like, that's going to happen every bomb. You got to think something like that happens at least every bombing. You know what I mean? Every bombing rollout, some school gets blown up or, like, some hospital. Even if it's an accident, even if you just your calculation was off whatever degree. But now you have 80, what was it, 180?
Yeah, it's
180 families of people who were like,
I hate you.
my kid didn't do anything.
Right.
We also don't like the government of Iran, and you destroy, like, you bomb my daughter.
Yeah.
And what are you supposed to say to that guy?
I mean,
dude,
you
you're
say
the
that,
bad guys.
But that's
You know?
that's a country of 9 million, right?
That's
91 million.
91 million. 91
Wow.
million.
Small.
Huge
It's,
country.
it's 90 million,
90 million.
like 90
Sorry.
something million.
Oh.
90 million, whatever it is. But there seems to still be a large population, right, that want their freedom from this government.
I think
right?
that's partially why they did it now.
Even though, like, it's been 47 years of them ruling. You would think after 47 years they'd have the whole country convinced of what you're saying,
No.
right? But they're not. There are still
Because
people
they're
that
so-
know, right, that what these guys are doing are bad, that they're being oppressed in their own country.
Right.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, yeah, but there's two ways to look at that. I mean, there's they're saying that the Iranian government is tyrannical over their people. And that's a different thing entirely than the US is a bad operator. Right? Like, consider our government right now. Iranians could very easily look at us and say half the country hates their despot president
That's true.
and they're just bombing people. They seem evil. Why doesn't the country
That's true.
why don't they do what you're saying Iran should do? But that doesn't, well, actually that was kind of a bad example because
We
in our
are
case it
doing
does
it.
seem that
We are
Democrats,
doing it, yeah.
if you ask Democrats, they'd be pro-Iran.
They want-
but like they're not really. I think at the end of the day they
Trump's
all
like-
accept.
No.
You know what I mean?
They want someone to take out Trump.
They do. No, not what I mean. I'm saying to my dad's point, like where he's kind of saying, or not to put words in your mouth, but if the point is like, after 50 years, don't you think the people in Iran who hate the government would go, maybe the U.S. is telling the truth and they just want the government out?
Right.
Right.
And I'm saying it's similar to the U.S. where there is a division of like who likes the president.
Right.
But the difference would be that I was saying that I could see Iranians, the government and pro-government,
Right.
and then the the anti-government, could both groups not like America, at least in similar capacities
Yes.
or some capacity. Whereas in the U.S., you would say the same, but they both dislike Iran, but that's not true. But that's also just because of Trump. If it wasn't Trump,
It'd be fine.
it would be like any other war. I mean, like every war that's happened where, like, yeah, there's people who are going to complain about it on both sides and, like, who dislike it. But generally, they're not hoping that Americans die or their president dies. Now you do have a lot of people doing that on the left. But, like,
Crazy.
This year, Pat, 1 year, count how many friggin' different types of protests we've had.
Oh, forget it.
It's crazy.
I don't even know if they know what they're protesting half of that.
I don't think they can anymore.
They're not
they
interested.
don't. They love doing it, though.
I want to call
They
like
just want
They
to
love doing it.
we have to call the guy who creates the yellow signs and see what's next because he knows because he has the
Somebody's
signs
making
made.
a killing,
He has
yeah.
them made already before we even do anything.
Yeah. What do they
So-
make those out of, you think?
No more kings. No
Unrest.
more kings. Unless they're from Venezuela or Iran. It's like, it's ridiculous.
All that I totally agree with. Like, insofar as it is going to happen, as far as some political thing that we can't, as citizens, can't control, I still don't want a single American like soldier to die.
Yeah, no,
so it's
no.
wild to me when you see people on whatever social media going like, well, you get what you like, you get what you asked for. 8 dead
exactly.
U.S. soldiers. I'm like,
People
I don't know,
hard,
man. Aren't you saying that you don't have to do it? Like, you live here. Should you die? Like, why is it the military? I'm like, yeah, but they're in a base. Like, they're not.
That's you hear
Who
the
are they
two?
terrorizing? Like,
Also, all the
that stems
lefties.
from just the hate of the administration.
Yeah.
totally. Yeah.
That's all it is.
Absolutely.
Because there's been administrations before this one that agreed that Iran should be stopped.
Yeah.
They just didn't either chose not to do it, didn't know how to do it, or whatever their reasoning was. But everyone is in agreement that this needed to happen. It's just the people that are doing it, they
They don't
want
like.
to
Yeah.
protest against.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. Well, that's like like I was saying with how I related to Venezuela. It's like I do think I imagine if we go full ground war and it lasts 10 years and hundreds of soldiers die, not worth it. Terrible decision. If it lasts another week and then it's over, Trump declares victory, whatever. As long as there's not some major fallout from that.
Yeah.
Like, I'd be like, I'm not fine with it, but it's like, all right, that's kind of what these things happen.
My
It's
guess
not good. I don't think Trump should do it. He ran on being anti-war. Is this a war in the sense of like boots on the ground. We're invading. No, but you're getting close. I mean, we can't say it's not at all.
If it goes on, much longer.
Yeah, but it's different than that one strike that I was like, that I was totally for. I was like, okay, they say they have nukes. You say you have a target strike. I don't know how many people died, but it was like very little on both sides.
Right.
It was just that infrastructure of nuclear capacity. And I was like, that seems fair to me. That seems like a reasonable thing for a country to do. You know what I mean? So far, it's like fine, but it's like if you keep bombing them for another year,
it's a war.
and you put boots on the ground, it's like at what point are we going to say like this is too far?
No, then it is too far.
Why is gas up?
A plan for getting out of it.
It went down again because of
go
the
up?
Strait of
But forget
Hormuz.
that. It
But
goes
4%,
way faster than it comes down.
It really does.
Because it's also stocks. It's all
Can't they
speculation.
But also
going
only
down, though? Like when the oil goes down.
No, because
can't they
once
take
it
the
goes up,
prices
they
down?
want to keep the price.
Yeah,
It's
but-
like anything.
But gas, only 4% of our gas comes from there. So why the hell are we getting beat up on gas?
Because the
already?
gas is sort of
I
I don't know the actual like all of the things.
Kind of
but it's-
bullcrap.
It's a global thing, yeah. But it's like because if China can't get it from wherever, they have to redirect it from this other group
Right.
that gets it from this person, and then we get less. It's a whole.
dumb.
It is dumb. It is dumb. But yeah, once prices go up, they won't come back
They
down.
won't go down for months.
It's ridiculous.
Not even months. They just won't go
Yeah,
back
they
down.
won't go down.
No, they do. I mean, they went.
I mean, they
down.
did.
No, but
down.
if everybody, they do, but like prices are at an all-time high since like COVID because a bunch of companies started charging more.
Yeah.
People still paid it, and they're like, why would I now
Why-
charge
Why would I
less?
charge
Yeah.
If they're gonna buy my same product and I'm making 10% more margin,
Right.
Yep.
I'm gonna sell it at $8 instead of $6 or whatever it was.
Crazy.
It's not
Which is
right.
just that's a separate.
Yeah.
That's
When are we
another-
going to go after North Korea then?
Never.
Nah, they're a
He's playing
joke.
low.
They're a joke.
Why?
Why are North Korea a joke?
Yeah.
I don't believe they have any capacity to do anything. If that's really their leader and they think he's like, I mean, he is really their leader. If they think he's like the god that they talk about, that I'm like, you'll never win because all you have to do is kill him.
There's some great. What's his name?
Kim Jong Il. Mm-hmm.
Memes. Some great ones.
Yeah,
Right.
he seemed, but he just like imagine
guy's a
that
meme
guy's
machine.
like the god of your country. But like he's kind of like chubby.
He's a weirdo.
Like he's just not.
What's wrong with Chubby?
Nothing's wrong with chubby, but if as a
You can't be if
Look.
you're chubby, you can't be a leader of a country. Phil.
no, that's not what I'm saying.
That's
They
what it sounded
feel like
like.
most of them are.
Kinda
as
sounded
far
that
as
way.
I understand about the propaganda, it's not just he's our president. It's like his family is the royal family. They think he's
Yes.
like the best guy ever, the king of
Every house-
Like you know what I
Every
mean?
house has to have the picture of him.
They hero worship him
Yeah.
as rule.
Yeah.
But they can't have his
Then
haircut.
then you can't be chubby. Sorry, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
If you're supposed to be the god figure of this civilization, you shouldn't be this like pudgy
He
kind
should
of.
be an
Like,
Adonis.
What about Buddha?
that's totally different.
People worship Buddha.
Also,
He's a little chubby.
No, that's also not Buddha. The Buddha was like a monk. He was terribly skinny. You know,
So what's the Buddha?
There was
they
a
all-
That's
Buddha.
why I can't talk with him because
there was a guy.
But what's the
But
Buddha?
what's the Buddha guy?
The
Why-
fat
why is he
Buddha?
The fat Buddha. What's that
Yeah,
then?
it's like
that?
it's creating a god
Like
idol.
symbolism?
Like yeah,
But why'd they create a chubby guy?
because that one is generally associated with like good fortune and
I shouldn't be saying fat.
wealth
Like,
and
fat's
stuff.
another word
He's
now.
big. He can afford. He can eat. I'm saying the Buddhist teachings, right,
The Buddhist monks, like
were created by monks who like by law fast. Like they don't eat a lot. You know
I
what I'm
didn't know
saying?
there wasn't one up in that.
Look
mount-
up Siddhartha.
one up in that mountain.
Look up
the-
Siddhartha.
The
guy's
head.
name, too.
The head.
Give me your phone.
What's his
I'll-
name?
That's why all the rest of him was skinny. He was eating old
He was
food.
Give me
eating-
your phone because we'll waste time talking about this.
No, just tell me what his name is. Sid.
I'm not gonna be able to spell it
How you gonna
I'll
spell?
find
How you gonna write it then?
because I can spell it well enough that this will figure it out. But if I sound it out, it'll be.
But if you
it'll be
spelt
hard.
it to him and he typed it,
just don't worry about
He
it.
just wants to type.
he just wants to. He wants to be in control.
There you go.
Well, that was really quick.
Yeah.
Who's that?
So there was a guy. There was a person
So Phil.
who Buddhism is accredited to,
Hmm.
and he's like famous for eating like 1 grain of rice a day. He was not fat.
That's
The fat Buddha is like
Tough
is a later stage version of the Buddha that represents good fortune and a lot of food and prosperity. That's why he's fat.
Were you joking?
And he catches
That was-
on like
Buddha
culturally.
Buddha was Indian.
Yeah.
Were you joking when you say he was famous for eating 1 grain of rice a day?
No.
Like, is that noted? 1 grain of rice a day?
I mean, I don't know. It's more.
Off
It
topic.
might be more of a
'Cause I'm like-
mythologized story than like.
'cause that's
he
not-
definitely did this.
That's not going to keep you alive. 1
No.
grain.
Well,
of
no,
rice a
that's
No?
the.
Did you ever
He's
hear
like
about
he
those?
found enlightenment. That's the whole thing.
You ever hear about those monks that sealed themselves into like a tomb?
No.
No, not that one specifically.
Yeah, and
I've heard of monks that do some crazy
They
What?
like live
feats of.
forever on nothing, and
Yeah.
they eventually mummify themselves.
Really?
That's crazy.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? You
We're
guys
doing-
don't watch
Yeah.
enough.
No, I
ancient
agree. You
aliens.
would think you can't survive on a grain of rice, but the whole thing
wild.
behind the Buddhist monks is like they reach a plane of existing where they don't like they can kind of.
They must have had Ozempic before we did.
I mean, they just died evidently.
1 grain of rice a day. Damn.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm pretty sure that was like the famous at the end.
At that
of his
point,
life.
would you eat?
No, I wouldn't even eat one.
Oh,
What's the point of 1 grain of rice?
If it gets stuck in my tooth, it would never even.
I guess it's better than nothing. It sounds eating 1 grain of rice is like cooler than saying I just don't eat.
I don't eat.
Like if somebody goes, I just haven't eaten in 20 years, you're like, yeah, all right. Goes, I eat 1 grain of rice a day. You're like, man,
What
he's
if you
devout.
drop it?
Wow.
The way your mouth, you drop it.
Drop
Then
it.
you gotta go on the floor.
Self mummification through extreme years long fast. Through extreme, years long fasting and dehydration diets, they removed body fat and moisture, eventually starving to death while meditating in sealed underground pine boxes to achieve ultimate spiritual translucence. They mummified themselves.
It's pretty crazy.
I
See?
really hope for people like this there is something afterwards, because to give up on everything in your life
They
just
don't
to
give
have.
up. They live
That's
good
what they do
lives,
their
and
whole
then-
life,
then
too.
No, I know,
they
but you've
mummify
done all
themselves
this
over a
and then-
period of years.
You've done all this and then there's nothing after it. Such a downer.
Couldn't you appreciate their will? That's like,
No.
Could you be that strong?
No,
will?
I would tell you this.
It's strong.
I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm
what they
not.
believe
I'm
in.
not religious at all. And I'm just saying that if I went to church even every Sunday, just on Sundays and holidays, and then at the end of it I die and there's no God, I would be pissed
That's
at
the
how
thing.
many days I
thing.
gave.
But I think you wouldn't
to
be. It
nothing.
wouldn't matter. It's kind of. It's like
I'm just saying.
if God
I'd be really
exists and you went to church and you go, good. If God exists and you didn't go to church and you go to
Well,
hell,
yeah.
bad.
Well, yeah.
If God doesn't exist, doesn't matter. Do whatever you want.
Well,
So
yeah.
it's like you might as well assume He
Well,
exists,
Yeah.
Well, that,
so that
I
you
guess.
don't end up in hell in that regard. But
Yeah,
like,
I know,
I don't.
but-
I don't prescribe to that. I'm just saying.
Just giving all of your
to
time.
your point, you couldn't be angry if you were wrong.
I guess not, but
Johnny's
just all
going to
that.
live eternity just walking the walls of heaven and only be able to hear everything that's going on.
Yeah, and all you assholes are going to be on the other side
That's where all the
barbecuing and
atheists
laughing
go.
at me. Just ha ha, man. Remember that podcast?
I'll be throwing chicken bones
over the
wall.
right, because they can't have anything on them.
I don't know. A funny, a funny version of it is like the only way you could get angry, but also like have been wrong, is like you start going to church, right? You're like, okay, I'm a Catholic, and then it ends up being like somebody else's faith. You know what I mean? Like you end up,
Yes.
it's the I don't know what other group has like a normal version of like heaven and hell by massive religion, but like because like Buddha has enlightenment,
Yeah.
right? I don't know. Judaism, they don't really have hell yet. Does Islam? I have no idea what they got going on. They must have some version because they have the 72 virgins.
Yeah.
You got a heaven. I don't know about a hell.
Well, so if you end up in the wrong fit, you end up in Valhalla or something. I don't know.
Oh, nice.
That would be kind of cool.
That'd be
Well, hell
cool.
would be nice.
But there might be a bad side of that.
Yeah,
I don't know.
there could be.
I don't know. I don't know enough about all the other mythologies for their bad stuff.
Damn.
But yeah. You know what's wow, that was a fast half hour. Oh, we did talk. This was on for a little bit, so we're probably at like 20-something minutes.
No, doesn't that just keep adding?
28 minutes.
Okay.
He has
I do
a-
have one thing.
you're a guy.
My last point about the war, just because it's like, because like I said, I generally disagree with it, insofar as like it seems like they're targeted. From what I've seen, other than that school, there's not like tons of civilians getting killed.
No.
It's not some like massacre. I'm sure the second they can, they'll call it a genocide.
Right.
So the fact that they haven't yet means they're doing pretty good about avoiding mass casualties. But it's crazy to me that if you guys have seen these stories about the warship, the Iranian warship that was like coming back from a joint exercise with India or something, and was blown up by the
unarmed
by America,
ship.
and they kept saying it's unarmed. This is a war crime,
Was
and
it
I'm
the
like,
torpedo?
yeah, I think so, yeah. And it was unarmed. This is a war crime. All this, and I'm like, all that aside, like even if that's all true, right? They just Iran today just attacked a merchant ship traveling through the strait,
Right.
and nobody's like, that's a war crime,
Yeah.
Right.
and I'm like, come on, guys.
goes
Like, if
one
you're gonna call an actual military warship, a naval like vessel that has soldiers on it, and you're gonna say because it's unarmed, you can't blow them up and it's a war crime, I'd say, all right, that rule seems kind of dumb to me. I feel like if you're a Navy,
Right.
you should be prepared. That also wasn't the first day. That wasn't the first thing they did.
Right.
Right.
So like, I just imagine if our Navy was over somewhere, like if they were in Europe during an exercise and America got attacked and they were going across the Atlantic, I don't think they'd just be like,
Let them go.
whatever.
They're just coming back. from
What could
training.
happen? Like, you know what I mean? So that's besides the point. But then for Iran to turn around and bomb a legitimate civilian vessel,
Right.
and nobody's up in arms. Nobody's calling it a
Iran
war crime.
Bombing everybody in that area now, and nobody.
Oh, they're just attacking everyone.
They're
Yeah.
attacking everybody.
Yeah,
Missiles, drones, all over that whole region, and nobody's saying anything about Iran doing bad.
right. So I mean, but that's. I guess you'll never
It's
get
freaking
people to
baffling.
be.
and it's all because of Trump.
This country's
Yeah.
crazy. right
People
now.
hate Trump so much that they.
That's
can't.
just a political.
But see,
propaganda.
Iran is one of those things where I think he does put his foot in his mouth. If there is like actual evidence of nukes and stuff, and he had to do it, fine. But we can't know that to be true, and we probably never will. He's not going to release secret documents.
Who could build on this? I don't retain anything. So someone told me that this whole action, which started in Venezuela, is to weaken China's
China.
economy.
Yeah, that's an oil thing. That's
Yeah.
kind of
Could be.
Venezuela and Iran are both the two largest suppliers of oil to China. Russia has its own oil, so they're not really caught up in that. But apparently, China gets most of it from Iran and from Venezuela. So
But is the
there are
theory-
people who say that, but it's a theory. Like I guess it's true in some sense, like that it has to be. But then in the other way, it's like, well, I'm sure China's still getting its oil from somewhere. They also have enough buying
I think
power
they,
that they can.
I think what happened.
They
was,
can get it from somewhere.
India was so there was an embargo or something. India couldn't supply China. I don't know something, but they opened it up for 30 days so they can get.
Yeah, so like they'll always get it. They have enough buying power. They're a big enough superpower at this point that I don't think it's reasonable to assume that the government will excuse me, the U.S. government will totally drain them of oil, so to speak. But yeah, I mean that's a theory. But that's also the same just with Venezuela. Forget about the oil, but as far as being in the Western Hemisphere. And some people say that Trump or the U.S. seems to be gearing up for World War III. And now with Iran and stuff, people are saying the writing on the wall is that it's coming in some or even Russia Ukraine was a step in the right direction. And people look at it, from what I've seen, people look at it and then they look at the past world wars and it's there's a moment where people say it started, but then there's also things happening for 10 years before. It didn't fall out of the sky ever. So people are saying these are the first moves. And, if the people on pro-Trump side are saying he's just making the moves first, as you should if you actually have some intel that China's gearing up to take Taiwan, Russia's doing whatever. If you think it's coming, then yeah, it makes sense to take out Venezuela, take out Iran now before it's a war, before it really is a world war. But then if you're a detractor of Trump or just an if you're against this idea, then everything he does seems like it's egging the world war on.
Right.
And that's an impossible knot to unravel, of what it means to say, look, I know it's coming, so I'm doing preventative measures, versus that makes it seem like you're now attacking places and that's creating the war. But
You'll never.
that won't come out in history. You'd have to be lucky to figure out the truth of that.
And I got it wrong. They're allowing India to buy oil from Russia.
Oh, because India got it from Iran?
I guess.
I didn't know that. I don't know. I guess that makes sense. I don't know where I thought they got their oil from. But yeah, that's the thing.
But it is a thing that it was all planned out that way, right?
Yeah, because of China. Because we can't go
'Cause it'll weaken China.
You
if
can't
they
go
get
ballistic
all the
or whatever
oil
the
that
word
they
is.
need. They were getting Venezuelan oil and Iranian oil. Off
That
the
was their
books,
main
off
thing.
the books. Unrecorded, they call it.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Off the books. Off the books. Under the table.
Oh, well, it's crooked. They're all crooked.
Everybody's crooked.
I thought he said cricket.
Crooked.
I thought he was talking about India. I was like, do Chinese people play cricket?
I don't understand that game.
Me neither.
I
Cricket?
don't understand it.
I don't get it at all.
I watched it once when I was in Australia.
I was forced
Did
to
you
watch
understand it?
in London. It was a tournament. And
Well, you know, his
played
brother
nothing
was
but
teaching
that.
me as we were watching it. It's fucking boring. And
Right?
It's so
It
long.
is.
And they took a tea time. A tea time.
Well, the game's 3 days.
I
isn't
know,
it?
it's crazy.
Like
but
the
they
full
take
version?
a 3-hour tea break and then they come back and play. I'm not lazy.
Is that not British?
I think cricket.
You know, the British ran.
Is
England
cricket
for
was
that.
cricket?
No, I know, but it's such
Cricket's
a
Yeah.
big in England.
It's big, but that's 'cause there's-
cricket. Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's always because there's a lot of Indians.
I told
in-
you that when I was there, there was a tournament on. It was the only thing on TV.
Yeah.
That English people play.
Yeah.
So yeah, cricket is
Weird.
because there's a big Indian
It's like the
people
biggest there now.
But cricket
Well, yeah,
is
yeah.
big there too. Cricket's also huge in Australia too. I don't
Same.
know
I guess
why.
that'd be the same
It
thing
is
if it's the
so-
English.
yeah,
That's their
it's
colony.
So boring. I don't know who started it. Maybe England did start it.
Well, I
India
was just thinking
kinda-
because of the tea break. I didn't
Yeah.
think it was an English invention. I thought it was.
It's so
I thought it was Indian or whatever. They're
Yeah.
the biggest.
How
I
do
mean,
you
they
spell
play
Is
it in
spelled the
Miss.
same way.
what cricket.
I think so.
I think it's
Like a
two
cricket,
T's.
like
I think
the
so.
animal?
Might have two T's.
Yeah,
Oh, is
the
it?
bug.
Maybe I don't know. I'm
Cricket
getting.
originated in Southeast England.
Yeah,
Oh.
I knew it. See?
And
There you
it
go.
I
makes
knew
sense
something.
that it's popular in those other countries.
No, that
because-
makes sense if it wasn't English.
because
I just
England-
didn't think of it
because
till the tea
England-
time.
England ruled
Took over.
India and all
Yeah,
that.
and Australia.
Yeah.
No, that makes
So
sense.
that makes sense.
I just didn't. I never assumed that because it doesn't. It seems like it's a much bigger sport there.
Yeah.
It really caught on, like in India and
Yeah.
Pakistan, Bangladesh.
It's a boring sport. It's too
Terribly,
Everyone
terribly.
gave it up.
long. Scores 300 and like to 500.
When they found American football, they stopped watching cricket.
Yeah. Seriously. Cricket's
Wait-
one of the biggest.
Wait until the Jets go to London this year,
Oh,
baby.
God.
Cricket's one of the biggest sport. One of the biggest sports too.
They should get caught up in the war. The Jets.
We got our boy back.
Oh my God. He's 35.
Who, Brett Favre?
He was bad when he was 28. No.
Worse than that.
We can do this on another episode. We should wrap up.
Yeah. All right. War.
Any final thoughts,
I have
anybody?
no final thoughts on war other than I think we're only using a portion of the actual weaponry we have. That's what I think. I think that's all we need
Yeah. I mean, you got to think they're holding something back.
in terms of advanced stuff.
They have
Yeah.
to.
They can't. I mean, they have
Hold
space
back.
lasers.
They, as you said earlier, they could like shut the country down without dropping a missile. You can just disconnect them from
That
everything.
is true. You could shut them down
Yeah.
completely.
It worries me, though, if you think about it. It's like, I do believe America, especially when it comes to military technology, is probably further ahead than the rest of the world.
Wait.
But if we're hiding, let's say we're hiding 30 years of technology, like what is China hiding?
Oh yeah. Right.
And it just, the fear of like in a world war when all that gets
Everybody
brought to the
takes out-
front, it's like,
Holy
What is
sh-
going on?
It's like,
it's like,
shit.
yeah, I hope America wins, but like you see a laser, you're like, I was hoping it was just us. You know what I mean? Like to assume we have it, somebody else must be somewhere in the realm.
Doing
Like,
something.
Yeah.
Yes.
yeah, right. So when you start, whatever's going on with that, like they're dropping tanks or something, you're like,
Yeah.
I don't know,
It
man.
all started when we got those engineers from Germany.
Yeah, Operation Paperclip, look it up. But that's what it is.
I know.
That's what you're talking about, right?
Yes.
Yeah. No, it'll be the worst thing? The robots. That's not fun.
It looked like Star Wars.
I'd rather a laser. I'd rather like a laser beam from space than just like a robot.
The drone wars.
Yeah, but that's so. I don't know. Isn't that worse? I'd rather just get blown up by a laser or at least some like pretty cool weapon than like robot dogs running through the whole country. You know?
RoboCop coming after you.
Right. Isn't that worse? You don't think that's worse?
Could be painful.
Yeah, because you got to run.
You gotta run. It's just like,
Time to build the compound.
Yeah, good luck keeping
I don't want
any
to
of
tell
the
you-
weapons.
I
That's what
don't
I'm saying.
wanna- I don't
Like,
want to tell you who called me 7:00 in the morning the other day.
to build a compound?
What?
He said, we got to get everybody together. Everybody's got to sell everything. We got to build a compound.
Was he serious?
100%.
Is he
I
like
have to
tuned
tell you, I
in?
know exactly who.
Is he like tuned in to whatever's going on?
Was it Donald?
Is it like a secret? Yeah, right. Like if it's him, we should. If it was the president, yeah, I think he's telling us something ahead of time.
So we'll talk about it later.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Well, anybody else? Uncle Phil,
Anybody else
Johnny,
have anything?
I'm good.
No.
Nope.
Thanks for listening. And as always,
stay angry, annoyed, and amused.